All right, let's just get right into it. If you're one of the many, many people out there who are still thinking, AI, I'll get to it later, then you really need to hear this. We're about to break down exactly why that's such a dangerous way to think and what's really on the line here.
And here's why it's so urgent. As one strategist put it perfectly, the time for waiting, it's over. Later isn't some date on the calendar in the future. For this technology, later was yesterday. The real window of opportunity is happening right now. You've got to understand, we are not just talking about another tech trend here. No way. This is the single fastest, most disruptive technological change we have ever seen. I mean, think about it. Faster than the internet, faster than smartphones, faster than anything before it. Which brings us to our first really critical point. This isn't some kind of forecast. It's not a prediction about what might happen. The shift, it's already happened. It is here, right now, and it's already rewriting the rules for literally everyone.
You know, what I love about this is the sense of scale it gives you. We all lived through the internet and smartphone revolutions, right? We felt how much they changed everything. But AI? The speed at which it's being adopted and woven into everything makes both of those look like they were moving in slow motion. So this leads to this huge misunderstanding that so many people have. There's this idea that AI is only for a certain type of person. Well, let's just tackle that idea head on. Is this whole thing just for people in Silicon Valley? You know, the developers, the engineers? Is it some niche skill that only a tiny sliver of the workforce needs to worry about? The answer is absolutely not. Not even close. So who are we talking about? We're talking about entrepreneurs who can build a business plan in an afternoon instead of a month. Employees who need to stay relevant, maybe by turning an hour-long meeting into 5 key bullet points. Content creators just pumping out 20 great video ideas in minutes. Students drafting research papers. Heck, even stay-at-home parents planning a whole week of meals and activities in 60 seconds. The point is, this touches everyone. And because it touches everyone, it has fundamentally created a brand new, non-negotiable rule for how work works. And this might be the single most important thing you take away from all of this. Okay, I want to be crystal clear about this because I know there's a lot of fear out there. The technology itself, this big abstract thing we call AI, it's not going to just show up one day and take your job. But, and this is the part you really cannot afford to miss, a person who understands how to use AI as a tool, they absolutely will. Why? Because they're going to be faster, they're going to be more efficient, and they're going to be way more valuable. Think about the marketer who can now test 50 different versions of an ad in the time it used to take them to write 2. That's the new reality. And what this does is it creates a massive fork in the road. 2 completely different futures are popping up, and it's all based on one simple choice. Are you going to act or are you going to wait? Believe me, the stakes could not be higher. And this chart just shows you exactly what we're talking about. It's a massive leverage gap. The person using AI can move 10 times faster. I'll say that again, 10 times faster. Something that took a whole team 10 hours can now be done by one person in just 1 hour. That is the very definition of leverage. So let's just lay out these 2 paths, right? On one side, you've got the person who waits, the laggard. They're working harder and harder just to keep their head above water, becoming kind of invisible over time. On the other side, you have the adopter. They're the ones who gain all that leverage, moving 10 times faster and learning new skills from a position of power, not desperation. So how do you make sure you end up on the right path? Well, it doesn't start with learning to code or reading some complex technical manual. Nope. It all starts with one simple but really powerful shift in your mindset. It's about going from fear to seeing the massive opportunity. And this is so important. That feeling of being totally overwhelmed is the biggest thing that stops people. You think you need to become an expert in machine learning by next Tuesday. But that's just not true. You don't have to master everything. You just need to learn how to use it. You know, there's a really simple way to think about this that just cuts through all the noise and complexity. Think about it like this. You don't need to be an electrical engineer to turn on a light, right? You just need to know where the light switch is. Well, AI is exactly the same. It's your new switch. So here's the key. Stop thinking of AI as this impossible field of science and start seeing it for what it really is, a tool. It's a new layer of technology, just like the internet was a new layer. And just like with the internet, the huge strategic advantage goes to the people who figure it out first.
And look, that's the good news here. In the grand scheme of things, we are still early. You haven't missed the boat. But, and this is a big but, you have to understand that this early phase, it is not going to last for long. The gap between the people who get it and the people who don't is getting wider every single month.
So we'll just end with this question. Learning something new, especially something this big, can feel uncomfortable. It can feel awkward. But all real, meaningful growth happens right there, at the edge of your comfort zone. So the real question isn't whether AI is coming. The question is, are you ready to reach out and use it? Are you?